gonna try to explain this as best I can. Okay, Abby Jimenez. Hey guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing another reading vlog and we're just gonna spend the day together while I read. And hopefully I'm gonna try to finish my current read. I haven't read in like 2 or 3 days because honestly like I've just been kind of busy. So I'm dedicating this whole day to just trying to finish this book. And this is my current read, Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I'm on page 242, chapter 28, and there's probably like 400 pages. So like I'm halfway done. And I don't know why, but I have the confidence to say that I can probably finish this book today. Maybe. We'll see. Like I know I can finish it as long as I just focus on reading. I'm gonna try not to get on my phone because I will say like lately I've been on my phone way more than I need to be. So I'm just gonna try not to be on my phone. I'm not gonna watch any TV. I'm not gonna watch any YouTube. We're just gonna read today. But yeah, that's the plan for this video. We'll talk a little bit more about the book later. But right now I'm going to eat a very late breakfast. It's literally almost 12 o'clock, but I still haven't eaten breakfast. I have the worst habit of not eating breakfast like when breakfast is supposed to happen. And I don't see that habit stopping anytime soon. So let's go eat breakfast at 12 o'clock. Okay, we're gonna make the same thing that I make like every other day, pancakes, because it takes like 5 minutes to make pancakes and I have no patience for anything else. Oh my god, guys, we're like almost out of pancakes. Okay, what? Did I do this? Ain't no way I left this much in the bag. I could make like 1 pancake. I don't know if I was the one who left this much pancake mix in the bag. I hope I'm not, because like, what is wrong with me if I was the one who did that? But like, I'm the only one who makes pancakes, so I might have done it. Okay, well I guess I'm gonna have 1 pancake. I think I'm gonna make eggs too because like, this is not gonna be enough to fill me up. And then we're gonna add some chocolate chips, obviously. Okay, food is cooked. She doesn't look that cute, but like it is what it is. We got the pancake. I don't know what happened to my pancake. My pancake is looking a little scary, but we have the pancake and then the scrambled eggs. And then me being me, I'm gonna put syrup all over it because I'm just healthy like that. Now I'm gonna make a matcha because I have to make a matcha. But lately I've been making a strawberry matcha because I made this strawberry puree stuff. And let me just tell you, my life has been changed. This is like one of the best things I've ever done in my life. Like actually, this is so good. And literally it was so easy to make. So here's my new little matcha recipe. So I use this matcha powder, the Naoki, Naoki, I don't know how to say it, from Amazon. Usually I get the one in the tin, but I wanted to try the one in a bag because you can either get it in a bag or a tin. I wanted to see if there was a difference. I think the difference is that you have to use more of this, but other than that, like it tastes the same. So with this, I literally just make a plain matcha, which I'm normally very much against, but the strawberry puree stuff like is good enough to where I can just like make a plain matcha and put the strawberry puree in. But I do 2 teaspoons. Then I do like 2 ounces warm water, whisk it. Okay, first I pour the strawberry puree in. I usually put that much in. It's probably like 2 ounces. And the way I made this, I literally just copied some girl on TikTok and she said for every 3 cups of strawberries, you should do 1 cup of sugar. I boiled it and like blended it with like one of those, I don't know what these things are called. I'll put it on the screen, but it's basically like a hand blender, or you can just use a regular blender. But I blended it and then I put it through a strainer because right after I made the strawberry puree, I immediately made my matcha without straining it, and there were so many seeds in it and I did not like that. So then I strained it and then I made another matcha and it was perfection. So I definitely recommend putting it through a strainer. But yeah, we got this. Then we do the milk. I'm not really picky. I just use this one, the blue one. And then I fill it up to like the 6-ounce line that's on here. So I probably do like 4 ounces of milk. And then I put the ice in. I don't know why, but I keep telling myself that I have to put the ice in last because like I use the cup to measure everything else, and in my head if I put the ice in, the measurements won't be precise, so I always put the ice in last. And then we pour it in. Oh my gosh, stop. It looks so good. Camera's definitely not doing it justice because the lighting in here sucks, but it looks so good. Also, tell me why these are the only straws we have, like these little bendy ones that like can do this. She's cute. Okay, let's go eat. This is so good. Time to do some reading, but let me tell you guys a little bit about the book and like my thoughts since like I'm halfway done with it already. Okay, so if you don't know what this book is about, I'm gonna try to explain this as best as I can. I tried to explain it in another video that I made and I was literally just editing the footage like yesterday and it low-key made no sense like what I was trying to explain. So I'm gonna try to do a good job of explaining what this book is about. So basically we have Emma. She has this weird thing that happens to her. Every time she dates a guy, they end up breaking up, and then the next relationship the guy she breaks up with gets into, it ends up being like a relationship with their soulmate. So Emma will date a guy, they won't be compatible, so they break up, and then the guy will get into a new relationship and it will be like a soulmate type relationship. Like it always ends in marriage or just like a very happy relationship. And so Emma notices this and she's like, this is really weird. This literally always happens. And she ends up finding this guy named Justin who has the same exact problem happening to him. So every time he dates a girl, they end up breaking up and then the girl ends up finding her soulmate. So they find each other because Justin, he posts something on Reddit and like he basically is like, does anybody else have this problem? And Emma ends up finding it and she's like, oh my gosh, wait, I have this problem. And so she DMs him and is like, oh my gosh, wait, I have the same problem. And so they just like are DMing back and forth. And then they come up with this idea and they're like, hey, why don't we just date and then break up? Because in theory, if we break up, the next person we date is supposed to be our soulmate. So it's like a little loophole around their little curse that they have. So that's the whole idea of the book. They date because they think that if they break up with each other, they'll find their soulmates. Obviously, this is a romance book, so they're gonna end up liking each other in the end. So that is what this book is about. Hopefully, my explanation was good. I think it was good, but that's kind of what's been happening. And they're also dealing with a lot of personal things. I feel like Abby Jimenez is really good at like making these people seem like so real and like giving them like real problems, because you know, I feel like most people like have something in their life that really weighs them down, you know, and Abby Jimenez just does a good job at like depicting it and making it feel realistic, and it doesn't feel like something she's just throwing into the story to make it like more complicated. Like it really feels like I'm just like reading about two actual people just going through life, but at the same time like it's still very much like a rom-com romance book. So I really love that. So we see them both dealing with their own personal issues. I don't know if I should say what their issues are. Well, it's on the back of the book. If it's on the back of the book, I'm gonna say it. Emma has problems with her mother and Justin is becoming the guardian of his siblings. So they're both trying to navigate through that while also like navigating their relationship. And again, I think Abby Jimenez does a really good job like depicting like everything that they're going through and making it just feel real. But it's also so rom-com-y and I love that. I have not read a good rom-com in a minute. I don't think I've read a rom-com all year actually. This might be my first one. And this is also my only summer book that I've read this summer. I find myself usually not gravitating towards like the summer reads. Like I'm never in the mood to read them, and if I'm not in the mood to read it, then I'm not gonna read it just because it's summer. But this was for real like on my radar, and I love Abby Jimenez. I read Part of Your World and Yours Truly, and I love those two books. They both actually take place in the same world as this. They're like interconnected standalones, so you don't have to read all of them, but like I think it's so fun because in each book you see the other characters from the other books. Like in the beginning of this book, a certain character was brought up and I was like, oh wait, I know you. And then another character was brought up and I was really like, whoa, I know you. So I love that. I love when authors do that because I just feel like it makes the whole experience of reading way more fun when you're able to like see little Easter eggs like that. And at this point, like this is my third Abby Jimenez book, so it's like nice to see her like build this little world and be able to connect everything together. Like I think that's just so fun. But yeah, that's that. Let's read. Been a few hours since I last talked to you guys. I was honestly reading on and off like all afternoon. Like I would read and then like I'd do some like editing, but I was able to read a good chunk, and literally I read the craziest part in the book. Like no doubt in my mind this is the craziest part in the book. If you've read this book, you know what I'm talking about. But there was this one part that happened. I was not recording, and I wish I was recording so I could have gotten my live reaction. Like I was freaking out because this thing that happened was the last thing I was expecting. Like honestly, up until this point the story had been very steady. Like a few things like here and there would happen that would be like, oh okay, but for the most part it was steady, and then all of a sudden it just blew up and I was like, whoa. And I mentioned that this is like an interconnected standalone, and the thing that happened connects one of the other books to this book. And when I read it and when I figured out the connection, I was just very shocked because it was the last thing that I was expecting. But literally I was like, okay, Abby Jimenez, I see what you're doing. This is crazy, but okay. It was honestly just crazy. Like, I thought it was crazy. Like, you definitely do not have to read the first 2 books to read this book, but I think it amplifies the experience. But other characters and like other events that happened in the first 2 books are mentioned in this book, and while like context isn't needed for those characters or those events, but like it's nice to have context, you know what I mean? But yeah, I was literally like so shocked. I just love how Abby Jimenez has connected all 3 of the books, because like in theory, like it's simple to connect books, I guess, but when you're able to read it and really see it and see how the author like connects that person to this person and this person to that person, even though they don't really know each other, like it's crazy. Like literally it's like watching those crossover episodes on Disney Channel or Nickelodeon. Like it's so weird but like cool at the same time. Like, what do you mean you guys are existing in the same world and you know the same people? Like in my brain it doesn't compute, but like obviously that's what's happening. But yeah, the last thing I read was crazy. I wish I recorded my reaction. By the time I thought about recording my reaction, I was like already like knee deep into this, and I was like, I just gotta keep on reading, so let me just finish this. But yeah, I'm on page 361 and I think there's like 400 pages, 4 or 5. There's 405 pages, so I have like 45 pages left. It's 10 o'clock right now. I'm gonna lock in for the next like hour, and after that I should be done. So let's keep reading. Guys, we finished. So final thoughts. This book was just so cute and adorable, honestly, but also had very like deep moments. And that's what I love about Abby Jimenez. I love how she can give you a cute little rom-com, but also something that gives you like more depth and emotion. Again, you're able to see everything that the main characters are going through in their personal lives and like seeing how they deal with that, but also like how it affects their relationship. But then you're getting these cute little moments between them. And this whole plot I thought was like so fun and creative. Like, I just wonder how she thought of this whole idea. Like, how did she think of the whole curse thing? That's definitely something that I've never heard of, never read about, and I probably will never read about again. And if I ever do read something similar, like, I'm always gonna think about this book. But yeah, I think the whole premise of the book is interesting. The characters, I'm not gonna say like I was obsessed with them or anything, but like I did really like them. The guy Justin, he was very, very cute. I will say that. Very good book boyfriend. I think Abby Jimenez also does a good job at writing those. And then the girl Emma, she was cool. Honestly, I don't really have too much of an attachment to her. Let's talk a little bit about the characters like that pop up from the other books. Like, I still can't get over some of that. Again, I'm not gonna go too deep into detail, but this is like definitely one of like the more crazier crossovers I've read when it comes to reading interconnected standalones like this. And in the back of the book, Abby Jimenez like answers a few questions just about the book. And usually when authors like put questions in the back of the book and answer the questions, I don't read them. I'm sorry, I feel like I should, but like honestly, I'm too lazy. But I did read some of these ones because I read the questions, and the questions were actually questions that like I was interested in knowing the answers to. But one of the questions like addressed why she chose certain characters to bring into this book that were in the previous 2 books. So I like that she answered that question in the back of the book. But it's just interesting to see how an author thinks whenever they are connecting characters from other books into other books like this. And I just think that's so cool. If I was an author, I would be connecting every single book that I have to each other, even if it doesn't make sense. Like, if for some reason I wrote fantasy books but also like regular just fiction books, I would somehow connect them. Because I mean, first of all, it kind of sounds hilarious to do that, and it's cool like as a reader being able to see it and like put the pieces together. It feels like you're a part of something like bigger than just the one book, you know? So I appreciate what Abby Jimenez has done here. But yeah, I think that's about it. Oh wait, did I even say my rating? I don't think I said my rating. I think I'm gonna give it a 4.25. It was good, but it definitely wasn't a 5-star for me. And I feel like a 4.5 was a little too high. Like, yes, I thought this book was good, but like I wasn't like super obsessed with it to where I was constantly thinking about it, even like when I wasn't reading. And I feel like a 4.5 like usually falls into that territory. Like, I can't stop thinking about it. This was definitely like a book where in the moment when I was reading it, it was very interesting, but when I wasn't reading it, I wasn't really thinking about it. So I feel like a 4.25 is good. Good plot, interesting characters, good depth. I thought there were some good quotes, rom-com-y, and overall a good time. But yeah, that's that. I want to book journal my thoughts on the book before I go to sleep because I'm trying to be better about book journaling. I'm actually really behind on my book journal journal. Usually every time I finish a book, I put it in my book journal, but I haven't journaled probably the last 4 or 5 books. I want to go ahead and do just for the summer because it's like fresh on my mind. So I'm gonna do that and then I will go to sleep. Yay!